You know, we do it for two reasons. Number one, we have a lot of friends and colleagues that are fantastic artists, and we're really interested in trying to help promote their work, because along the way, plenty of people have promoted my work, and I want to give back to that. So does Tracy. Secondly, and nearly as much, it's probably more important really, is to try to raise some money for marching arms. You know, we tied this to a charity on the third year of doing it, and it's been a great way to raise a little bit of money for the charity, and we're happy to do it. So it's a great party, it's great food, it's great wine, and it's fantastic art and fantastic people for a fantastic cause.
Yeah, and I just saw the cars arriving before I came in, and it looks like you've got a huge crowd here tonight.
Yes, we should probably have over 200 here tonight.
Great.
So,
thank you very much, Kent, and good luck with your art fair.
Thank you.
We're here at the Rathbun Art Fair with Mindy Collins, one of the artists. And Mindy, what kind of things do you work with?
The mediums that I use is going to be acrylics, resin, wood stain, inks, oil pastels, and I like to build my canvas. I like to hand build them. Mostly they're board. Some of this year is actually from canvas, but I mostly like to build it out of board.
Who most represents you?
School of art, as far as,
or say,
is that what you mean, like contemporary, modern?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Contemporary, modern, abstract, all of it. It's sort of different. So I'm a self-taught artist.
Okay.
So I don't have any actual schooling.
Right.
But I think mostly it's modern.
Sure. Okay. And which artists most influence you?
My favorite artists are probably Rothko, Pollock, and although Andy Warhol doesn't really influence me, but I love his you know, just where he comes from and his styling.
Sure. Okay. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
So we are at the Rathbun Art Fair, where there are several artists whose works on display. This is some metalwork by artist Scott Harbin. There's some more of his work up here on the wall, and just over here on top of that case there. So Scott, let's go out here, and maybe you could tell me a bit about the kind of work you do. This is your bomb.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what you work with metal?
Yes.
What kind of art do you do within metalwork?
I work in steel, primarily because it's a very forgiving medium. And I like to create things that are challenging for an artist to do. I work a lot in emotional states, which is really the hardest thing for an artist to convey is an emotion of some sort. So I really look for things that allow me to challenge the viewer to almost find a meaning to the piece, really.
Great.
I work in the advertising medium, so this allows me to do stuff that is non-art directed, so it's a lot more fun. Sure.
Well, who would you say was most influential on your work?
One of the artists that was very influential was an artist by the name of Hans Rudi Giger. He's most notably known for winning the Oscar for designing the alien for Ridley Scott's Alien, 1979.
Wow.
His work is rich, has a lot of depth to it, but also has a tinge of it's really hard to explain. It's almost everybody who looks at it has a different approach to it, but it has a tinge of erotica meets danger.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of danger to his piece, and if you look at most of my pieces, there is a lot of sharp edges and kind of dangerous edges to it, but there's a lot of subtleties to it. I like to I want people to look at my work and delve into it deeper. I don't want just somebody to look at it and say, oh, I like it, it's nice. I want them to find more of an inner meaning into it.
Sure. Thank you very much indeed.
You're more than welcome.
Come on!
What medium do you work in, Tamara? This is
I work in oils, Andrew.
Oils. And what school would you say you're...
School would be contemporary, abstract.
And who was most influential in your...
Probably my instructors. Bill Commodore would be one, Don Taylor, Thicker, 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 Cindy Hurt.
I noticed that your paintings have a lot of surface relief, a lot of texture to them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there are layers and layers and layers of oil.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're so thick, the best thing to do is dig right back into them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Pastry. My pastry work has a lot to do with the inspiration for the artwork. I find that the sauces and chocolate work and the artistry of pastry really ties into the technique of painting as well. So a lot of people don't think about that, but it's definitely.
Who would you say most influenced you?
Artist-wise, it's a hard one to say. That's a tough one to. I guess Jackson Pollock, if I had to pick one.
Jack the Dripper.
Jack the Dripper, yes.
Thanks very much, Rick.
Thank you.
Here with, if you get a little bit closer, gentlemen, Ron and Chris Mars. And what medium do you guys work in?
We are glass blowers. We work in molten glass.
And how long have you been doing that?
Oh, I guess about something over 30 years.
Yeah, I've been working in it about 17 years, the last 17 years.
And how did you come to be part of the Rathbun Art Fair?
We were invited to meet Kent and Tracy by a friend of ours that helped with the valet parking. And Kent and Tracy were looking for some artists that did something more sculptural. And when we showed up with our glass, they decided that was just perfect. The idea of the art party is to put art in a home setting like most people would place their art.
Yeah.
And they were a little concerned about what kind of sculpture would look best in a home, and naturally hand-blown glass art fits very well in a home setting, so it was a perfect marriage. And they're wonderful people, and we've been enjoying working with the art party and March of Dimes for several years now.
And who was most influential in your interest in glass blowing and glass art?
It came from a man who used to own a stained glass studio that had some very crude equipment for glass blowing that I met in a neighborhood. We moved into the M Streets areas when he was just a baby, and I met this man, Hugh Irwin, and he's the one that taught me glass blowing, and it just took from that point on.
And amongst the glass artists, obviously he was influential, but amongst the artists in that area, who are you most impressed with, or
we mostly work from inspiration that's come from both the Seattle artist groups, Pilchuck Glass School, Dale Chihuly, of course, and the Murano style Venetian glass blowers have a heavy influence on our colors and patterns and sculptural designs that we've developed over the last few years.
Great. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.